UIM F1H2O World Championship returned to India for the crucial fifth round of the 2018 season, kicking off the final three-race run-in to year-end and title honors with the UIM F1H2O Grand Prix of India. The Indian state of Andhra Pradesh hosted its first major international sporting event as AMARAVATI welcomed the UIM F1H2O Tour to the banks of the Krishna River. AMARAVATI, which means Place of Immortals, is the de facto people's capital of Andhra Pradesh, and it is an area steeped in history with a rich cultural and religious heritage. But Amaravati is also a modern city of the future with a world-class infrastructure, state-of-the-art public transport system, a highly efficient road network, high-speed railway, a world-class international airport, and a booming waterway trade system, making this one of the most dynamic and futuristic cities in South Asia. Located on the banks of the mighty 1,400-kilometer Krishna River, the greenfield city of Amaravati is also one of the most verdant, ecologically balanced, and environmentally sustainable cities in India, a place that is intricately connected with the waters of the Krishna, upon which the UIM F1H2O Grand Prix of India will be raced, as Amaravati welcomes one of the world's most exciting marine motorsports to an emerging Indian oasis that perfectly blends modern futurism with a rich and ancient heritage. 19 drivers from 9 teams would compete at the UIM F1H2O Grand Prix of India, participating in a boat parade as they greeted locals at the start of the Grand Prix weekend. As crowds flocked to the shores of the Krishna, they got to see close up their own Team Amaravati, led by veteran F1H2O multiple Grand Prix winner Jonas Anderson and teammate Eric Eden, who were sponsored by the Andhra Pradesh Tourism Development Corporation.
I'm really happy for this, and it's a great opportunity to work with these great people, and for the future I think it can be very great. Yeah, for sure we have a pressure, but I mean we have done this many times, and it's just go out and do the maximum we can do and see how far we can go.
As spectators took photos with Team Amaravati, those who were brave enough also got a chance to take a spin in the F1H2O two-seater, not for the faint-hearted. Now let's see what happened in the previous round. At the Agile Grand Prix of Xiangyang in China in round 4, all eyes were on Team Abu Dhabi, who dominated the team standings and whose current lineup of drivers had won all 3 Grand Prix. Xiangyang proved no exception as BRM qualifying winner and pole sitter Sean Torrente led proceedings from the very start, with his teammates Thani Alkamzi and Eric Stark in 2nd and 3rd place. The triumvirate unimpeded as they rocked to yet another Team Abu Dhabi 1-2-3 podium shutdown. Coming in 4th was Team Amaravati's 5-time Grand Prix winner Jonas Anderson, who despite being passed early by Alkamzi, managed to hold on to 4th, earning crucial points for Team Amaravati, with Philip Schiap coming in 5th. In the world standings leading up to the Grand Prix of India, Thani Alkamzi led on 54 points, with just 2 points separating his 2nd and 3rd place teammates Stark and Torrente. With 9 teams competing at the Grand Prix of India in Amaravati, the team to beat was no doubt Team Abu Dhabi, who were 42 points clear atop the world team standings after round 4, and whose 3 racers led the world driver standings. Jean Torrente had 2 Grand Prix wins going into AMARAVATI, having won in Portugal in round 1 and the last event in China. Sitting third in the driver's standings, he's closer than ever to his dream of finally winning an F1H2O World Championship, but his biggest rivals are his own teammates.
It's amazing, it's really good. We share information, we work hard together, even in the testing. And then we just decided that when we get to the race, you know, whoever wins, wins. We can't really control everything, we can only control our own boat. So we share information and we try to keep the good spirit, because really the number one goal is for Abu Dhabi to be in the top. And that's our job first. And then if it happens to be me that wins, or Eric or Tani, that's what happens. But as long as an Abu Dhabi boat is at the top, that's really the goal and the point.
Eric Stark won the 2 other Grand Prix in 2018 with back-to-back victories in London and Evian, and he's second in the world standings, just 1 point ahead of Torrente and 1 point behind current world standings leader Thani Al-Khamzi, who has stood out with his consistency this season, placing runner-up in 3 of 4 Grand Prix. If anyone's going to put a wrench in the well-oiled Team Abu Dhabi machine, it would be CTIC F1 Shenzhen China team, with 3-time world champion Philippe Chiappe and his teammate Peter Marin, the 2 5th and 4th in the world standings going into AMARAVATI, with the CTIC team 2nd in the world team standings on 64 points. Chiappe's hopes for a 4th world title may look slim going into round 5, but with 3 rounds and 60 points up for grabs, anything was possible.
The beginning of the season is good, but in Evian we make a very bad result. And in the Chinese race we are on a good, with a good setup, but Abu Dhabi is very strong and we lose a lot of points. And now in India we have no choice, we do win the race.
The team to look out for in India is local favorites Team AMARAVATI, who are 3rd in the team standings going into round 5 and whose drivers have both proven themselves capable of racing in the top level of F1H2O. Veteran Jonas Anderson is a multiple Grand Prix winner, and young Eric Eden's results have improved with each season, a perfect mix of experience and youth, of past glories and future promise. Dubai Outfit Victory Team, led by 4-time world champion Scott Gilman, have had a difficult year. Ahmed Al-Hamili has consistently finished in the top 10, earning points in all races in 2018, but was unable to break the top 5 in any of those races. Al-Hamili's year has been better than his teammates, however, as defending and 4-time world champion Alex Carella Victory Team has had a dismal time of it, unable to finish the last 3 races after coming in 4th in the first round, and his chances of defending the world title have all but evaporated.
Now it's 1 month, we are testing in Dubai, we are trying our best, I think we work very good, and now the team is more close. Hopefully we can take good point in this race and come back little by little.
Another UAE-based outfit, Emirates Racing Team, is led by the only female F1H2O Grand Prix winner, Marit Stromoy of Norway, a fierce and experienced competitor who knows how to take the fight to her rivals. She's proven herself capable of winning once. Can she do it again in India? Her teammate Bartek Marszalek is also on an upward graph. Also competing in India, F1 Atlantic team with 2 excellent drivers, Duarte Benavente and Grant Trask. Blaze Performance team with 12-time Grand Prix winner Francesco Cantando and his teammate Simone Schuch. Maverick F1 Racing with Cedric Deguin and Thai racer Sutipan Sukbongbong. And of course, Mad Croc Baba Racing team with 2-time world champion Sami Celio and his teammate Philip Roms. The Grand Prix of India was raced on a 5-pin freshwater circuit on the Krishna River with tricky currents and no right-handers.
Of course, it's a very fast course, one of the fastest of the year, and today it's really hot and humid, and so it's very tough to be in the cockpit. It will be a nice race with a lot of pass, because without the yellow it's possible to pass much more than normal.
There's no better feeling than I get. There's no better.
The BRM official qualifying would be raced over 3 sessions and determine the starting lineup on the pontoon.
When I'm laying with you and you're laying with me in my bed.
In Q1, the fastest 12 boats proceed to Q2, where the field is halved to 6. who have the course to themselves in 2 laps each in Q3 as they go for their fastest lap in a quest for the all-important pole position. In Q1, it was a dramatic back and forth as all 19 drivers fought to make it into the top 12. Former regular Q3 contender and 25-time pole position winner Sami Celio fought desperately to get his form back, but he was yet again unable to find the speed he needed to make the Q2 cut. His teammate Philip Roms also disappointing. Benavente just squeaked through at the expense of his teammate Grant Trask, and Marshalik and Cantando also managed to make the cut. But no such luck for Maverick F1 Racing Team, with both Sukbongbong and De Guin out in Q1, and also unable to make it into Q2 were Simone Schufter Blaze and Eric Eden. A surprise there for the AMARAVATI driver, but he was hampered by technical issues. His teammate Jonas Andersson, however, flew the AMARAVATI flag proud, finishing top of the Q1 session ahead of Thani Alkamzi, Eric Stark, and Marit Stromoy. In Q2, Andersson managed to continue his fine form, racing hard over 13 laps and getting a good time as he just made the Q3 cut, placing 6th, just behind Ahmed Al-Hamli and Marit Stromoy, who would also be in Q3. A shocker for Philipp Schiap, who couldn't manage higher than 10th, and his teammate Peter Marin also just missing out in 7th. Meanwhile, more disappointment for Alex Carella, who finished 8th, with Cantando, Benavente and Marshalik also out in Q2.
I have some electric problem, the engine didn't start. We need to solve it quickly on the pontoon, but I lost the Q2. I need to go back to the tent and find out what's going on.
Topping Q2 were the 3 Team Abu Dhabi drivers, Torrente, who left it late in the session but managed to get into the top 3, alongside his teammates Al-Kamzi and Eric Stark. Q3, first out will be Jonas Andersson, as crowds held their breath, hoping for a good opening lap time from the Team AMARAVATI driver. He was fast, 45.22, but would it be enough? Ahmed Al-Hamli of Victory Team was out next, and he came very close, 45.23. He misses out on provisional pole by just 1/100th of a second on the Krishna River. Next out, Marit Stromoy. She went all out. Her setup was perfect, trying to wrest provisional pole from her fellow Scandinavian. And just look at that time. She smokes Andersson by half a second. Stromoy now the one to beat, with 3 Team Abu Dhabi drivers left.
Excited to see what's happening now, but yeah, it was a good lap. Good lap.
First out is Eric Stark. The 4-time pole position winner is fast. Can he beat his former teammate Stromoy? 45.00. He can't do it. Stromoy holds on. Next out is Thani Al-Kamzi. The former world number 2 and 2-time pole position winner gives it all he has, but it's not enough to beat Stromoy or Stark, although he does place ahead of Andersson and Al-Hamli. Stromoy is so close now. Can she get a second pole position win here, and her first since 2011? It depends on one man, Sean Torrente. Torrente was flying out there, tight around the corners, fast down the straights, a stunning final lap, and he was just too fast for Stromoy. Torrente's time of 44.54 naps the American his 7th career pole position and gives him the advantage as he goes for his 3rd Grand Prix win of the year.
I feel blessed just to be able to drive the boat and be able to do what I love. And sometimes when it's your day, it's your day. That's all there is to it.
Stromoy spoils the Team Abu Dhabi party, placing 2nd ahead of Stark 3rd, Al-Kamzi 4th, Jonas Andersson 5th for Team AMARAVATI, Al-Hamli, Marin, Carella, Cantando, and Schiap completing the top 10. With the day's drama, stress, preparation, and excitement on the Krishna River behind them, teams, drivers, and crew got a chance to unwind as the UIM F1H2O family was welcomed to AMARAVATI for the first time with a sumptuous and colorful gala dinner. Race day, the 5th Grand Prix of the year, all eyes on Team Abu Dhabi. The man to beat, Sean Torrente in pole position.
Yeah, we have a 700-meter start, and then a little 300-meter straightaway, and then an 800 and probably 40-meter straightaway to the next corner because we're eliminating the one corner. So we'll test for it this morning. We have a lot of data to look at from tests at home and stuff. So we'll hopefully make the right decision and get a good, clean start.
Marit Stromoy starts in 2nd position on the pontoon. Could she break the Abu Dhabi hold on the podium in this race?
We proved that we are there, we can have the speed to be on the podium, and we'll see what happens today.
For former world champion Philipp Schiap, it was do or die here if he was to have any hope of adding to his world title tally this year. The crowds gathered by the thousands along the Krishna River as the drivers greeted locals with the parade lap. The starting lineup, Torrente on pole position, Stromoy right beside him in 2nd, then it's Stark and Alkamzi in 3rd and 4th on the start pontoon, beside them Team AMARAVATI ace Jonas Anderson in 5th, Al-Hamali 6th, Peter Marin in 7th, Carella 8th, Cantando 9th, Schiap down in 10th ahead of Benavente and Marszalek, Trask 13th, Roms 14th. Eric Eden starts at the back in 18th, and the big absence of Sami Celio, out with engine issues and unable to start the race for the Mad Croc Baba Racing team. With Celio out, 18 drivers from 9 teams line up on the starting pontoon, waiting for the start of the 5th Grand Prix of the year, the first in India in 14 years, as AMARAVATI gets set for the awesome spectacle of an F1H2O race start. The lights go out, the race is on, Torrente off to a good start. Alkamzi in trouble there as he falls right back. Carella also unable to start. Torrente on the inside lane with Marit Stromoy falling back after a poor start as Eric Stark gets past her on the drag race to the commitment buoy. Alkamzi trailing after that starting mishap, but Anderson and Al-Hamali up there with the lead boats. They approach the commitment buoy, Torrente using that inside lane advantage well as he gets to the turn in the lead. Stromoy is lagging behind Stark, and there's a collision. Schiap and Benavente crash into each other on the first turn of the race. That will be a yellow flag. Disaster for Philipp Schiap. His boat is overturned, his race is over, and so are his chances for a 4th world title this year. Also out of the race is Alex Carella, who breaks down and heads back to the dry pit. A dismal season for the defending world champion in the #1 boat. Here's the replay from Duarte Benavente's onboard. Schiap slams into the F1 Atlantic driver's port side and then dramatically spins out and goes over. Benavente is also out of the race, his boat too damaged to continue. The green flag goes up, the race is back on. Sean Torrente leads with clear waters ahead, but there's a major fight right behind him as Marit Stromoy and Eric Stark go neck and neck in a battle for 2nd position. Into the turn, Stark pushes Stromoy out, but Stromoy is unfazed as she digs her heels in and floors it in that drag race to race buoy #2. Look at that speed. She nudges ahead of Stark, and what a brilliant move as she cuts in front of the Swedish driver. Stromoy at her best, gutsy, determined and brave. Behind the top 3 boats, more drama as Team AMARAVATI driver Anderson chases in 4th, followed by Peter Marin of CTIC in 5th, then Thani Alkamzi in 6th, and behind him Francesco Cantando in 7th, with Ahmed Al-Hamali in 8th. Bartek Marszalek is trying to get some speed on the clear waters, catching up with the top 9 boats. Bad news for Team Abu Dhabi as Thani Al-Kamzi's brilliant 4-race consistency this year comes to an end with a broken engine. The world standings leader is out of the race.
I have problem with the engine before the start in the pontoon. When I start, no clear. And then I do 1 lap, the engine not running very well, not good.
And so after 5 laps, Torrente leads by 2.5 seconds over Stromoy in 2nd, Stark chasing Stromoy in 3rd, then Anderson 4th, followed by Peter Marin and Francesco Cantando. Eric Eden's rise up the field continues as he takes on Philip Roms, the Swede moving into the top 10 now as he passes the Mad Croc Baba racer and sets his sight on Grant Trask. In a fight to enter the top three, Jonas Andersson continues to give chase to Eric Stark, but he in turn is under pressure from 5th placed Peter Marin, the French CTIC driver, 4th in the world standings, looking to continue what has been a great year since he debuted on the F1H2O Tour last year, as he flies the CTIC flag solo here after Shiap's crash. In the fight for 6th position, Ahmed Al-Hamli flying the victory flag as he gives chase to Francesco Cantando, trying to wrest 6th spot back from the Italian 12-time Grand Prix winner. With a string of technical issues this year, can Cantando hold off the blue boat and get his first point since round 1 in Portimao? Continuing his brilliant climb up the field, Eric Eden zeroes in on F1 Atlantic Australian driver Grant Trask, but Grant Trask keeps his distance from Eden until he too succumbs to mechanical failure and the field is reduced yet further, continuing the string of crashes and breakdowns here in India. Up in the lead, Torrente is looking untouchable, racing like a champ, making no mistakes, not letting up, as he remains aware of the two talented riders on his tail, Stromoy and Stark. Yet another boat is out. It's Stromoy's teammate Bartek Marszalek, as the field is reduced even further. Great race so far for Andersson, racing the Team AMARAVATI and India flag, a 5-time Grand Prix winner, solid in 4th, but now able to make a dent in the top 3 up ahead. The battle continues for 2nd place between Emirates Racing Team's Marit Stromoy of Norway and her fellow Scandinavian Eric Stark of Sweden, but Stark is unable to catch Stromoy despite a spirited race-long chase. Meanwhile, Sean Torrente is on track for a 3rd Grand Prix win this year, and he can surely sense now that he's the favorite for the world title in 2018, a dream that he has come close to realizing every year, but which has eluded him thus far. Oh no! Andersson's race also ends. The Team AMARAVATI team principal out just 10 laps from the finish, and that puts Peter Marin in 4th. And sure enough, Torrente makes no error. He glides his boat home for a start-to-finish win for Team Abu Dhabi. What a result, what a victory for him, and yet another race win for Team Abu Dhabi with 2 drivers on the podium. Stromoy, a well-deserved runner-up with that excellent performance for Emirates Racing Team, and Eric Stark yet again on the podium. There are the results. Torrente, Stromoy, and Stark on the podium in India. Peter Marin continues his great year with another 4th place finish, earning 9 points for CTIC in the team standings. Cantando with his best ever result this year in 5th. Eden is brilliant, rising from 18th to 6th for Team AMARAVATI as only 10 boats finish the race. Rom 7th, Al-Hamli 8th, Shuf earning 2 points for Blaze, and Sutipan Sukbongbong with his first F1H2O point in 10th. In the Drivers' World Championship standings after 5 rounds, it's Sean Torrente at the top with 72 points, 7 points clear of 2nd placed Eric Stark. Daniel Kamzi dropping to 3rd behind his teammates on 54 points. Then Peter Marin solidifying 4th place, 5 clear of his teammate Shiap in 5th, with Stromoy shooting up to 6th on 26 points, and Eric Eden flying the AMARAVATI flag in 7th, with Al-Hamli, Andersson, Cantando completing the top 10.
I think I did a good race. Like, I had a very, very good start, but unfortunately I had bad luck with Shiap crashing, so I needed to go back to my 3rd spot. Finished 3rd. I'm still in points to win the championship, and that's what we're aiming for. And big congrats to both Marit and Sean. They really did a fantastic job.
The race was good. It was super exciting. I had a bad start from the jetty, but luckily we went to yellow flag, and from there it was a thrilling fight between me, Sean, Eric, but in the end I'm happy with the 2nd. Yes.
First, it's amazing to win here in India. I can't believe all the people. It's incredible. There had to be 150,000 people here today, and that's not exaggerating. I was happy to win, but I'm even more happy now to go to my second home in Abu Dhabi in the lead of the championship and try to win again. We've had a great season, and I just can't wait to keep going. But for this next week, I can't wait to go home and see my wife and daughter, have Thanksgiving, spend 4 days at home, and then get ready for Abu Dhabi.
In the World Team standings, Team Abu Dhabi are head and shoulders in the lead with 126 points. Their nearest rival, CTIC F1 Shenzhen China, on 73 points, with Team AMARAVATI on track for a possible podium in 2018 in third, just 2 points ahead of Emirates, Victory in fifth, Maverick sixth, with Blaze Performance, Magcroft Baba, and F1 Atlantic completing the list. That brings to a close a brilliant first ever UIM F1H2O World Championship Grand Prix in Amaravati. With the Grand Prix of India over, the tour next heads to the United Arab Emirates for the final 2 rounds, Abu Dhabi for round 6, and then the final Grand Prix of the year in Sharjah. See you in the UAE.